Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. I hope you're having a fantastic day so far and I hope you had an awesome weekend. My weekend was absolutely top tier amazing. It was probably the best weekend I've had in a long time. I met up with a good friend of mine and long time subscriber on both my channels, Martin and his beautiful family, and yeah, I showed him around some of our local what do you call them, attractions, and yeah, it was such a good weekend. It was nice to have a chat with someone other than my family, and I love my family to bits, but I'm quite a loner here in Slovakia. I don't have any friends or anything, so it was nice to have a chat with another man, especially someone I get on with like a house on fire. It was so good. So Martin and your family, thank you so much for the great weekend, mate. I had an awesome weekend. And Philip, if you're watching, mate, I hope you're behaving yourself. Hello, and don't forget to Pozor! He'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Anyway, today we are reacting to the weirdest small towns in the United States, and that's because I think weird is wonderful. Sometimes, anyway. But yeah, I'm quite looking forward to this video. Let me know down in the comment what weird little quirks you have or what weird little quirks your town have. What's the weirdest thing about your town? I'm quite interested to hear. Yeah, so we're going to be checking that out. But before we do, if you haven't done so already, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you're feeling extra frisky, you may as well give the video a like as well. And without further ado, let's check out the weirdest small towns in the United States.
The American Road Trip. An experience full of gas station snacks, tourist traps, and eventually a destination worth sending a postcard about.
There you go. If I can't get my pickup truck, that's the sort of thing I want. The old VW. Beautiful thing. I love them. I don't know why. There's no ocean here in Slovakia, but I'd probably still have my old surfboard on top there.
Tourist traps, and eventually a destination worth sending a postcard about. But what if we're looking for something stranger? What if we want to find an underbelly that makes Twin Peaks look like Candyland? If you've ever wanted to travel America in search of the silliest, saddest, and most unhinged of all the states, consider this travel guide your ticket through a Twilight Zone toll booth. Today, we're examining the weirdest small towns in the United States. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Weird History channel. After that, leave a comment and tell us the weirdest thing about your hometown. Now, to paraphrase Michael Keaton, you want to get weird? Let's get weird. In 1981, there were 1,000 people living in Centralia, Pennsylvania.
I've heard about this place, I think.
There were less than...
Isn't this the place with the coal? Like, basically the ground's on fire, isn't... I think this is it.
1,000 people living in Centralia, Pennsylvania. But by 2010, there were less than a dozen. What the heck happened? Did everyone get sick of cheesesteaks? Did they owe the Philly fanatic a bunch of cash? In fact, Centralia lives above a burning coal mine fire that began in 1962 and still blazes to this day. And there's no sign of stopping soon. Experts believe it may burn for another 250 years. The town is full of sinkholes, toxic smoke, gas. Even the highway is hot to the touch. On the plus side, you could probably cook a cheesesteak on that blacktop. If for some bizarre reason this sounds like
walking or driving in this area could result in serious injury or death. Dangerous gases are present. Ground is prone to sudden collapse. Alright, I'll keep away from this one.
Plus side, you could probably cook a cheesesteak on that blacktop. If for some bizarre reason this sounds like a place you'd like to live, you can't. In 1992, the state of Pennsylvania seized all the property in the town and condemned it. They allowed the residents to stay, but once they're gone, that will be the end of Centralia.
Such a shame.
58 miles southeast of Anchorage, Alaska, there is a town called Whittier. And if you're the type of person who needs your space, we'd recommend you stay much further than 58 miles away from Whittier. Because in Whittier, every single resident lives together in one building. Kind of like if the grandparents' bed in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory had its own zip code. The 14-story Begich Towers, originally an army barracks, is home to the 214 people of Whittier, Alaska.
Oh my God.
The tower grew to include a police station, a post office, store, church, playground, bed and breakfast, health center, and video store. We don't know what's more remarkable.
That's insane! That is insane. They've even got a video store. It's like going back in time. That is crazy. I couldn't live in a flat or an apartment anyway. But imagine everyone in the whole city lives there.
Breakfast, health center, and video store. We don't know what's more remarkable. The fact that 214 people of a city live in just one building. This one building has a bed and breakfast for any extremely adventurous tourist who happen to pass through.
Oh my God.
Or that this one building still has a video store. And in this case, if you're not kind and don't rewind, literally everyone in the city will know.
The video store would be my favorite part of the whole place. I think that's so nostalgic, isn't it? I remember going to like Blockbuster and stuff, and it was the highlight of my week trying to figure out which video to get to watch on the weekend. I loved it. I really, really loved it. I can't even say
Whittier had too many people in one place for you? Try Manawai, Nebraska, home to just one resident. No, seriously, the entire city is occupied by a single human being. Talk about an introvert's paradise. Or don't talk about it, since you're introverted. Elsie Eiler is the sole resident of Manawai, Nebraska, like Will Smith in I Am Legend. She's the town's mayor, bartender, librarian, and presumably both its vigilante superhero and its cop who doesn't think Cape Freak should take the law into their own hands.
And the villain.
She also pays taxes to herself, which her accountant must love. Oh, right, she's probably her accountant too. But the population of Manawai used to be twice as big, as Elsie was married to her husband Rudy until his passing in 2004.
A shame.
Colma, California takes up 2 square miles of space, and within those 2 square miles lay 17 cemeteries. That's a lot of cemeteries.
What?
The zombie apocalypse hits and you find yourself passing through Colma, just keep right on driving.
What?
The San Mateo County necropolis.
That is a lot of cemeteries. Where do you want to meet tonight? Let's just meet dead center of town. Get it? Sorry, nothing funny about that, man. That's a lot of cemeteries.
And you find yourself passing through Colma,
in 2 square miles.
Just keep right on driving. The San Mateo County necropolis has been dubbed the City of Souls because it hosts an estimated 2 million dead people and
Holy
only
crap.
1,200 live ones. That means for any one living human, there are
I don't think I'd want to go
1,667
there.
deceased folks. And when the middle school hosts their co-ed
no.
dead alive dance, you know they're all going to be on one.
Cemeteries freak me out. I've got a weird thing with cemeteries. My missus laughs at me and that because whenever I drive past or walk past a cemetery, I have to take my hat off. I don't know why. It's something I've done since I was a kid. I always take my hat off when I go past the cemetery. My son started doing it now as well. They don't give me the creeps. I think it's the fact that I know I'm going to end up in one of them one day that, like, I don't know. I believe in showing respect to them as well. So I take my hat off, but I couldn't live in a town. I don't think I could even visit a town like that. It would give me the heebie-jeebies.
One side of the gym. This wildly skewed ratio began when bodies were transported to Colma from San Francisco to make room, an arrangement where, sure, the truck drivers moving all those skeletons had zero questions about. And among this cavalcade of corpses lie famous folks like Wyatt Earp and William Randolph Hearst. Imagine thinking you were going to be laid to rest in the city, only to find yourself haunting an overcrowded boneyard in Colma, California. With a charmed name like Miracle Village, Florida, you might expect this small hamlet to be filled with a very specific type of person. Medical professionals, perhaps. Or maybe magicians. Well, if you guessed registered sex offenders, congratulations.
What?
Because you are exactly right.
The messed up thing was, I was literally just about to say, that looks like a beautiful little village. Holy crap, why would they call it Miracle Village?
Miracle Village is a small housing development outside of Pahokee, Florida, that's home to more than 100 registered sex offenders. It was founded by a minister named Richard Witherow, who worked in prisons for 30 years. Witherow created the development as a place for recently released sex offenders to live, while reintegrating into the community. And he and his ministry, Matthew 25, oversee the development and have final approval over who is permitted to live there.
I've heard of Slab City. I'd like to go see Slab City.
Remember the scene in Into the Wild where Emil Hirsch meets Kristen Stewart in that very strange, seemingly lawless town? Remember Into the Wild? That unusual town would be Slab City, California, referred to by its residents as the last free place in America. Slab City is decommissioned and uncontrolled, a wild desert city full of 150 eccentrics, military vets, hippies, and anyone looking to unplug from the grid and get their freak on. Not to mention the many squatters and RV campers who want to find their own temporary wild.
That's it?
Tangier, Virginia. located on the appropriately named Tangier Island in Chesapeake Bay, is one of the oldest cities in America and one of the weirdest sounding. Not the name itself, though Tangier sounds more like an artisanal gin company than a city, but the way its residents speak. Linguists say members of Tangier, which we'd love to call Tangerines, have a unique accent unlike any other place in the U.S. The local dialect is an odd mix of a standard American accent and old British twang. Some historians theorize that Tangier talk is how the founding fathers and early settlers of America may have sounded, but we think they're all just practicing their Katharine Hepburn accents. Hey, we have a video about that.
Hell. Go to hell.
On Earth exists, and during the winter, it does indeed freeze over. Hell, Michigan is a small town close to Ann Arbor, known for the home of the University of Michigan. But Hell has its own college, Damnation University, or Damn U for short.
That can't
its
be
own
real.
college, Damnation University, or Damn U for short.
That is brilliant.
Where can I get a Letterman jacket? You see, Hell
I want
has
one of
embraced
those.
its unique name, given in the
Gates of
1840s when
Hell.
the founder quipped, "You can name it Hell for all I care." Originally a milling town and later a town full of
That's
bootleggers,
hilarious.
Hell leans into the hell of it all, offering satanic churches to get married, ice cream shops called the Crematory that sling gravedigger Sundays, and pastries to die for,
Hellhole
the Hellhole
Bar.
Diner. If you want to buy a piece of hell, you can head to gotohellmichigan.com and purchase a plot of land yourself. Just be careful of the neighbors. Gibsonton, Florida contains 14,234 residents, and most of them are straight-up carnies. When carnivals are in the off-season, many of the workers, from ride operators to sideshow human attractions, head to Gibsonton, or Gibtown as many call it, to relax in a warm and welcoming climate.
I think some of these places look pretty cool. Apart from that Miracle Village, I don't think I'd ever step foot anywhere near there. But I don't know, this looks kind of cool.
The town was even the subject of an X-Files episode titled Humbug, although none of it was actually filmed there. At one point, the town fire chief was an 8-foot-tall giant and featured what was at the time the only post office with a counter situated at a height where people with dwarfism could use it. Seems like a lovely place to live, but the initiation rite, where presumably everyone gathers around and watches you stick your head in a tiger's mouth, is a little much. Ever lose your luggage on a flight? Don't scream at an attendant or rage tweet up a storm. Instead, gather your hiking equipment and backpack through the Appalachian Mountains to Scottsboro, Alabama, because statistically, your luggage is lost there. Scottsboro, Alabama is home to the Unclaimed Baggage Center, or the UBC if you like to save time when you speak. Started in 1970 by Doyle Owen.
I saw something on, it might have been on TV or on YouTube, where you can go and buy unclaimed luggage, and then people sell it on eBay and stuff.
The center now takes up 40,000 square feet of downtown Scottsboro.
Holy crap.
And they receive a whopping 1 million unclaimed bags and suitcases every year.
Oh, they've turned it
No
into
amount
like a
of uniquely
shop.
colored tag is going to save you from that. Most commonly, the UBC finds clothing and electronics. But for more adventurous treasure seekers, the center contains a museum featuring the most unusual found items,
Oh, so it's not
including a $20,000 painting, the guidance system.
Sorry, I'm confused. Is it a shop or is it just like a museum? Or is it a shop and a museum?
Featuring the most unusual found items, including a $20,000 painting, the guidance system for an F-16 fighter jet, and a NASA space shuttle camera. And you just know that thing doesn't have an airplane mode. As we grow older, we experience life transitions. Often that includes moving into a retirement facility, a place structured around medical care, routine, community, and apparently knocking boots so...
No, my kids have got they know the rules. No retirement village for me. You're going to have to look after me. Just build me a little place in your back garden, or let me just... Yeah, I can't go into a retirement
loudly
village.
and often that you blow the roof off the joint. The Villages, Florida, is this very retirement community, a place that, in 2015, recorded a record number of sexually transmitted diseases.
Just going to say.
The 70,000 members of Florida's
Jeez.
friendliest retirement home, a tagline we are certain the Villages is now regretting, we're constantly, enjoying the community jello. One
Maybe I should be going to a retirement village. Holy smokes. These old people getting jiggy there.
regretting, we're constantly, enjoying the community jello. One couple was even caught in a compromising moment on a golf cart. Please withhold your hole-in-one jokes until the end of the episode. But if you're surprised that these retirees seem to be behaving like background characters in an American Pie sequel, maybe you shouldn't be. As resident Rosalind Shelley told the New York Post, whatever you know about 20-year-olds, it's the same with seniors. Oh, so that probably also means a lot of Sega.
Pendele? Buford.
Don Salmons, his wife, and son were the three sole residents of Buford, Wyoming, which is 300% more people than the population of Manawai, Nebraska, for those keeping score. But in 1995, Salmon's wife passed away. Then in 2007, his son moved away from home. So Salmons got fed up living by himself and decided to put the town up for sale. Wait, you can just do that?
Yeah,
Is
can
there a
you just do
Craigslist
that?
section called Geography We've Been Missing? Salmons put the town up for sale in 2012, and the highest bid came from coffee magnate Pham Dinh Nguyen, who purchased it for $900,000. Nguyen renamed the city after his coffee brand, changing Buford to the more mouthy Fin Deli Town Buford. And if you visit the one gas station in town, you'll be sipping Fin Deli coffee and nothing else, and you'll like it. Ever wanted to feel like a cast member of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
Great movie.
Head on over to Casey, Illinois, a town full
Holy
of
fork.
ginormous objects that would even give DeMontis Sabonis a Napoleon complex. Casey, Illinois was founded in 1834. It's about 2 square miles in
a
size
lovely-looking
and
old
has
town,
a
isn't it?
population of around 3,000. But frankly,
I love photos of old towns. I love it. I can just, I love going, picturing it and, obviously picturing it, but, imagine being there, the sounds. It must have been amazing, I think, anyway. People were a lot more polite back then, I think, as well.
it's about 2 square miles in size and has a population of around 3,000. But frankly, we don't know where those 3,000 people can live, because most of the town is full of big things, a somehow official term describing
wind
objects
charm?
that far out
That would annoy the hell out of me.
size. Because in Casey, Illinois, size does matter. There are at least 8 items in Casey that have been officially certified by Guinness as the world's largest of their kind,
Yeah, that
including
was
a
a wind
32-foot pencil and a 56-foot rocking chair. Although rocking in that thing would probably be more harrowing than relaxing. Whether or not the residents of Casey have huge egos over all their huge things remains to be seen. So what do you think? Which of these
Yeah, I think out of the whole video, the two weirdest for me, well, one wasn't really weird, was that coal. That was pretty freaky, isn't it? But the weirdest one out of all of them for me was that sex offender village that I literally almost paused and said that looks like a beautiful place to live. So thank God I didn't do that. But that's the weirdest one out of all those for me. Let me know what you think down in the comments. And don't forget to add your little weird quirks and whatnot down there as well. I'm quite interested to read them. Anyway, guys, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.